Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the new year, and specifically what we have in store for us in January of 2020. This is a monumental year for massive change. We've been talking about it forever, and now we're here. We're here in the year of 2020. The reason why this year has so many phenomenal changes is that this is the year that we have Jupiter and Saturn conjoined. And Jupiter and Saturn come together every 20 years. But the last time that they were here in the sign of Sagittarius and Capricorn was in 1960 and 1961. Remember how the 60s were so transformational, how everything shifted and changed. And there was such a breakdown of rules and governments and everything that transpired. We're in for another transformational change. And yes, it will be extraordinary. So the main feature I feel like that is happening this month of January is the Jupiter K2, which is the south node of the moon, conjunct, coming together. This is a sign of deep revelations on a spiritual level. And this is also a time when we will see miracles, when we will see great discoveries, in accordance to energy, into how things can be transmuted, how we can heal disease, how we can actually span across space and time. We're seeing a different type of energy. And I believe it's a time when science and spirituality will merge because they are one and the same. So this is going to be a wake-up period. I've been saying this is the year of a major, major awakening, scientifically, spiritually, and of course, metaphysically. So many people are finally coming together with wanting to understand the purpose, the meaning of life. Why are we here? This is going to be a year that wakes everyone up. But because we have the Jupiter K2 in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is that sign that wants truth, that wants answers, and is extraordinarily religious and fanatical. So we're going to see the extremes of fanaticism as well as the extremes of reality. The illusion is breaking. There will no more be this illusion, and people are becoming aware, and this is the excitement I have about this year. So looking at this, we're right on the edge of some major shifts, and I want you to know that basically this K2 Jupiter, and they do come together exactly on January 8th. And the degree that they will conjoin at is going to be 14 degrees of Sagittarius. Now this is right in the middle of this potent sign of spirituality. But remember, this is the sign that can deal so much with fanatics. So there's going to be people searching for answers, and the way that they're going to be looking is in the most extreme ways. People want to be led. People need to find leadership. And some of the cult leaders will come alive because with this change and this advent of so much awakening and awareness, the old has to die for the new to be reborn. And some people and countries and places will not want to conform to this awakening. So they dig their heels in deeper with their old religious views and views on politics too. It has to end. The old is leaving, and this is the year of a new birth. And yes, because of this, there are going to be scandals released. There are going to be chaos. There is going to be protest, revolutions, civil wars everywhere. Because the dark, the light, the polarization of everything is coming to a head. So looking at this is a year of major spiritual transformations. Therefore, some of the old traditions are going to have to leave, making room for the new. Now, let's talk about the healing. I feel like there's so much healing coming about this year, and it is healing the emotional body. Consider this. There are so many things out there that are ruled by human emotions, such as disease, and many cures for disease will come about, but it's definitely working with different energies to understand energies such as healing with sound, healing with light, healing with the human shift of mind and consciousness. This is going to be prevalent throughout the year. So people are waking up and seeing beyond the illusion. So many things are coming about. And yes, in politics, everyone wants to know who's going to be the next president of the United States, what is going to be happening in the world with all government leaders. Let me just say that as Saturn enters into the sign of Capricorn, this is going to be January 24th. You're going to see the energy shift where the old has to die out for the new to be reborn. Everything is happening for a divine reason. Whether you like it or not, what's happening is going to be for the highest good of everybody on planet Earth over the course of this year. And towards the end of this year of 2020 is when the true chaotic breakdowns and revolutions are going to occur. But this has to come to a head. Another thing is because we have eclipses, this eclipse that just happened on December 26th set the pace for the entire 2020 year. And there is a lunar eclipse that brings everything to light during this month, because you see, a solar eclipse is the new moon. So something is born, something begins. And the day before that solar eclipse on December 26th, Mars went into Scorpio, where it will remain there till February 7th. During that time, Mars is dredging up intense emotions, being in the sign of Scorpio. And as it comes together with the fixed star Antares, expect some major eruptions to occur. And this will be pretty much around mid-February that you're going to see where mid-January, excuse me, where Mars is going to really dredge up the emotions and the intensity, and you're going to see major fires. You're going to see major explosions. And more than anything, when we have eclipses, eclipses do bring the power of earth changes. So you're going to see now, early in the month, it's January 10th that we have the lunar eclipse. And this lunar eclipse does occur in the sign of Gemini. And remember, solar eclipses are the birth of something because it's the new moon, where the lunar eclipse is the full moon and brings it to light. This lunar eclipse occurs at 25 degrees of Gemini. Yes, I am talking about the Vedic sidereal placements, not tropical Western. And you will see that because it's in Gemini, this is the unfolding and unleashing and surfacing of what? All of the media that is consumed with making the world see things from where they want you to see things. But this is surfacing. People are waking up to how much they have been fed by the news illusions. So this lunar eclipse is all about the breakdown of the media, the breakdown of the truth. And as we look, when we come to the end of the month, when Saturn will come into the sign of Capricorn, Capricorn is government. So you're going to see as Saturn comes together, even with Pluto, this is the breakdown of governments around the world. The old cannot survive during this time. Now, towards the end of the month, I noticed that we have Venus will conjoin Neptune around January 27th. And simultaneously, Mars is going to square Venus-Neptune around the 27th of January. Watch how scandals occur. Watch how things surrounding the sex trafficking that has been so prevalent throughout the past. It's all coming together with a big explosion of reality. This corruption that has been happening in world governments, and particularly in the United States, is going to surface, and the corruption, who's been behind it, and where it's going. And most of all, the destruction that it's caused globally, and all of the drug wars, everything to do with bringing our world down, the darkness of the sex trafficking, the darkness of the drugs, and all of the money that has been exchanged in this corruption is going to surface. And this will have a major effect also on the political campaigns and what's happening. Now, this eclipse that sets the tone for the entire year, let's talk about this eclipse path, because wherever an eclipse is seen most visibly is going to be where things will surface, where things will shake up. So I'm looking at basically where the earth changes will occur the most, and even political riots and such the most. We're looking at Malaysia, we're looking at China. China's in for a big wake up, especially with their government. India is going to be prone to political upheaval and earthquakes as well, but most of all, the Middle East. I'm talking the Middle East. There is so much that is about to transform and change all across this land, because they're steeped in the old belief systems that are changing and they can't continue. And because of the human emotion, something really shifts. And you'll see more earthquakes in this year, and especially around the time of January and February. And I know February is going to be the most intense of all. Because why? These planets are lining up with Mars with K2, with Jupiter, Mars K2 Jupiter. And it is going to oppose Rahu, Mars K2 in the Nakshatra Mula of destruction. Rahu in the Nakshatra of Ardra, of tragedy. Things have to change, and at the course of action, the way things are going, this is all leading to a very explosive event. And let me say this, because Pluto does rule atomic energy and explosions, something is liable to happen unless people change. Yes, not everything's set in stone, but this year, the transformation is imminent. And so many things will be happening that will unravel corruption. All the things that have been destroying our world are going to have to surface. Now, will these things just simply go away? No. There are some very, very powerful people that control these issues around drugs and around sex trafficking, because these are the things that control through money. And money is about to change. Yes, I do see where things are going to spike up and down with the stock market this year, and especially this month. Watch how this impeachment thing goes with President Trump, because as it peaks and valleys, so will the stock market and the economy. It will follow along the track of everything that's happening in this year in accordance to this impeachment. And this impeachment, as you can see, is definitely backfiring on those that are angry, those that are upset, those that are resentful. There is no room for these type of emotions anymore. And yes, both sides are guilty, but you're going to see that this is a clearing. And what a great clearing, because in future years, we will better understand, years and years from now, why this had to happen. So it is truly all a blessing in disguise, because just as in the 1960s, looking back in retrospect, we can now understand why the revolution and the change had to come about. And yes, it is very destructive, but it is also incredibly transformational. And it will prepare us for a much more evolved, aware, and spiritual world years to come. So also, I wanted to say that during this time that Mars is transiting through the second part of January, particularly as Mars transits through the Nakshatra Jyesta. Jyesta is that powerful nakshatra of emotion. And as we change and align with our emotional body, we can create and manifest anything that we want in this world. But it takes this conscious awareness to understand exactly how you align feeling and emotion with the thought process. And when you know what you want and you know that it will come to you and you feel it, the emotion aligns with it, it is created. This is a powerful concept. It's been called for years the law of attraction. What you're putting out there, you're definitely going to get back. So that's actually the law of relativity. It's the law of karma. What you put out will be met with equal force back to you. So make that choice now, this year, what you want. And remember, whatever you are dwelling on, whatever you are thinking about, you're going to create in your world. So if you are dwelling on negativity, hate, resentment, that's what you're going to get back in your life. And you're going to be very unhappy. But shifting over to the positive, putting out love, acceptance, trust, healing, energy, you're going to get that back. And that will create exactly what you desire and want in this world, which we all want the same thing. We all want to be happy. We all want to be secure. We all want the good and prosperity that life can give us. And by putting out that energy. This is the year of manifestation more than any time. Use this Jupiter K2 energy for its highest good to create what you desire and the positive of what this energy can bring. Spiritual awareness, spiritual revelations, healing. So even though there's always the duality in this world, there's always going to be the opposites. You have a choice to choose the positive. Every time you think a negative thought, you lower your energy level. And every time that takes away from your power to use that energy for positive. We can do this. And this should be your New Year's resolution. And every resolution that you make at this time has more power, has more intensity, while Mars is transiting through the Nakshatra, Jesta, in the sign of power, which is Scorpio. But remember, the intensity is going to be tough. Saturn, Pluto, transformational change. Saturn in Capricorn, breakdown of the old. Make room for the new in your life. Don't be stuck in the past, because the past only prevents us from our future. When you stay emotionally stuck in your feelings from the past, you're going to keep creating events exactly like the past. It's time to break out of this old patterning. Here is the opportunity. Saturn, Jupiter. Jupiter will be coming together with Pluto 3 times this year. That's enormous power. And it can be extraordinarily prosperous and bring opportunities. So use this energy well. This is a year of transformation, enlightenment, healing, and all of the negativity and the darkness and the corruption is dying. But it will try to take its hold on us stronger than ever, because when something is grasping for its last breath of air, it becomes fanatical. And that's what will transpire. The fanatics become stronger. Therefore, guess what? Terrorism becomes stronger. This is a month that's all brewing. It's all starting. It's there. Don't let it affect you, because you can avoid it. But I will say this. Get ready. Something big is about to happen globally in this world, starting this month and definitely in February. That's the massive change. So with that, you can choose the positive. And yes, it could have an effect to avert the difficult and bad things that could happen. So with that, it's a lot to think about, but you have the power within you. Use it wisely. This is going to be a phenomenal year for change. And so with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information on me, if you would like a reading, you can go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. Or if you would like to learn Vedic astrology, I have a university, and we are starting a new class coming up here January 14th, live webinars. Come join our university. My university online is University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.